Welcome to Capacity TV. Today we have Gill, Senior Vice President Managed Services at CSG International. Alan, welcome. What is changing in the telco and cable markets that is affecting mobile solutions?
We're seeing, I suppose, two or three key trends that are shaping the industry as we go forward. From a technology supply perspective, the market has evolved to much higher data demand. So you're seeing the networks the network operators investing significantly to keep up pace with broadband demand. Mobile broadband and the nature of broadband in terms of mobile usage has shaped in terms of the level of reinvestment in the network, which is much greater, much faster. So traditionally we saw investment cycles which could last a decade, and we're seeing investment demand which is much shorter. And that demand profile has created a level of pressure within the industry, which is unprecedented. We're seeing a lot of the revenues that are generated by mobile usage or broadband usage in the fixed network going to people like Google and other major internet-based service providers, whereas the carriers are carrying bulk of the investment cost in providing the level of infrastructure and the level of service that customers demand. So that now today in our industry creates a significant pressure in terms of investment dollars against a return that this industry is capable of generating. So fundamentally what we will see is the advent of new technology like LTE, which will fundamentally make it simpler and cheaper for the service providers to provide services in the future, but also a degree of need for rationalization, for looking at their own operations in terms of how they can make that more effective. So legacy has meant that telcos have been around for decades, that they have decades of history in terms of BSS and OS infrastructure. Most of that infrastructure is aligned to different investments that they made over the historical period. So in today, the transformation challenge for the telcos is how do you do that transformation, deliver a significantly better unit cost for their shareholders so they can make money, at the same time service the demand in the marketplace and the way that's evolving, both from a consumer perspective and the level of service that they expect, but also from businesses and how they expect the network providers to support them.
You mentioned changed quite a lot there. How do you think the cloud market is developing to aid managed services?
2 points here. I think one, cloud-based services have been around for a while, okay? And we at CSG, we've had a cloud-based platform servicing the cable business in the US for 15 odd years. So today we have cloud services which are transcending both consumer services. Equally, customers are also looking at, enterprise customers, whether they're mobile operators or fixed line operators or enterprise customers generally in every sector, are looking to see how they can leverage cloud services on a global basis. That will significantly, I think, change the way customers rationalize IT technology in the future. It allows you to move to technology and application architectures which are much more capable of supporting global services. The architecture of those applications are much simpler because in essence you're winding up with a target architecture that is already rationalized. And it's simpler to do that than to try to evolve individual component pieces in your own organization. So, if I take the telecom market for an example, a lot of those industries have built BSS, OSS infrastructure, as I said, over the last 2 decades or more. Most of those companies struggle with modernizing that because there's a lot of moving parts that you have to move. So there are a couple of options. One, you can go out to somebody and say, give me a managed service and help me figure out this complexity, right? And that's a market that's existed for a long time, and I see telcos particularly taking advantage of that because the level of skills that they have within their own companies isn't significant enough to solve some of those challenges. Two, as I said earlier, there's a huge demand on investment dollars. So do you continue to internalize those investment dollars into solving IT issues, or do you invest them in creating new services? So you see companies in our market, in the telecoms and cable market, increasingly looking to third-party vendors who can provide a managed service, and I think increasingly they will also look at the dynamic that cloud brings in about how do they rationalize their IT infrastructure going forward, wind up with a simpler application architecture but also a service that somebody delivers to you because that's their core business.
Alam, it would be great if you could give us a brief on CSG and your role and vision in helping customers in the telco and managed services space.
So CSG has been in this business for near enough 2 decades now. It's a pioneer in terms of building a shared services platform, what we today call cloud-based services. So in the cable industry today, CSG services over about 50 million consumer records on a shared cloud-based platform, right? Which is, I think, one of the most industrial strength applications that we deliver today for a complex market like the cable business. So we have a heritage of delivering state-of-the-art applications at an absolutely significant benchmark cost base with fantastic in terms of track record about delivering that with a huge level of reliability. As we acquired Intech over 2 years ago, we've started to evolve that set of product sets to give us a broader BSS footprint globally. So we have a range of services that we're bringing to market which complement our enterprise service offerings, where we service the market in a traditional way, as well as having a range of cloud-based services. We have a content direct platform which today services many sectors around the world, including telecoms and cable, with a range of transaction-based services that allows companies to monetize content-based services that we talked about around the internet and mobile services. So it's a leading-edge service capability. We do that as a cloud-based platform as well. We're bringing a range of our enterprise applications to also be cloud alternatives for customers. And we see that because customers are saying to us, take away this complexity, help me rationalize my IT infrastructure, and a cloud-based solution often is a viable way of doing that. But as a business, we see continuous demand for companies asking us to solve complex problems, complexity in terms of rationalizing their billing requirements or their BSS challenges that they have. And we service today over 30 customers globally with that range of managed services. And we see that as a growing part of our business. We see more customers asking us to leverage our knowledge, our technology knowledge, compiled with our unprecedented knowledge of this particular sector, and bringing that together to help them solve problems more cost effectively.
Alam, thanks for your time.